What's up, everybody? Welcome on into the Bearden Talks with Mr. Works for Tips. I'm your host, of course, Disparity. And then we have Mr. Works for Tips. But also, we have a new special guest here. We call him Dre 911, or as I say, Dre Fine 11.
Well, thank you for having me.
And so today's topics are going to be a couple special cases. It's basically going to be like a recap on what we previously spoke about. So we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about.
Mario Party
There you go.
Superstars.
Thank you. Mario Party Superstars. We're going to be talking about the GTA trilogy and how of a travesty it is. The YouTube dislikes being removed or whatnot, or just hiding. They're hiding the dislikes. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Mario Party for. Well, actually, no. Since we're already here, we'll still go ahead and talk about GTA. Actually, so in light of news, GTA Remaster Trilogy has came out, and apparently it's a travesty. Rockstar came out with with three games that have been truly remastered, which is Vice City, GTA 3, and San Andreas, but they all have either have graphical issues, bugs, and the sort, and it's just again a travesty. Dre, go ahead. Give us your thoughts on this, and what you guys see on the screen. By the way, I'll be cycling through are the differences between the character models and um what they have been basically been changed and stuff. But Dre, we'll go since you're the guest here. We're gonna start with you first.
I had a feeling that this would be a travesty because, given Rockstar's track record in the past of not listening to what the fans want, and and as we can see from those pictures, it seems like they might as well have just hired modders to remake the game for them.
And yeah, it just comparison. Like, I mean, I will say this: the main character models, in my opinion, look better, but like, it's just like any other character though, just looks off. It's like, why would you release something like this? Uh, what do you think, Tips?
Honestly, I do have to agree. These models look very weird. Like, depend on, the character, obviously.
Hmm.
It does look like they went the lazy route. Then again, they kind of do sometimes do go lazy. And modders, yes, they have been doing a lot better. At this point, the modders should might as well just be working for these companies.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I saw another screenshot of so the one that I'm about to show right here on the screen here, as you guys see, you have the original, you have the definitive edition, then you have the Vados Peds pack, which you can definitely look up. And as you see there, the differences in character models is really astonishing. I also saw one where it was the Vinewood sign, or that at least that area or that turn or whatnot, with where you go into Vinewood, and the graphics that the modders made were just amazing. And what makes it worse is that Rockstar, they went ahead and delisted the original GTA games. They delisted them and then replaced them with the definitive versions. And excuse me, the definitive versions are just the worse. I don't know how you can like come up with something like that. Like what are you thinking like in your office? Like, huh, these are going to be great. Like, I don't know. Um, any other thoughts? And as you guys see here, GTA Trilogy Chaos continues as hot coffee sex beauty game files reportedly had uncovered as well. So it feels
Okay.
like they took the PS2 games or the mobile games and just literally just flipped them over. It was like, here you go.
At this point, you might as well either A, play the originals that you probably bought before they got delisted, or B, just play them on the consoles that they originally came out on, because these games look fucking devastating.
Yeah, like,
Now,
go
now
ahead, Dre.
my question is this a byproduct of using the Unreal Engine?
I would say yes and no. I think what it comes down to is Rockstar wanted to make a quick buck because they know that their fans their fans love GTA, and they really it feels like they honestly tried to pull a fast one. Um, because the Unreal Engine, if you work with it, it's one of the best engines because it's very scalable in terms of specs and stuff of what you can put with it. It just feels like this remaster should have been delayed. First off, and also it feels like it's a game to basically push people to use the Rockstar Social Club platform. Because they didn't put the game on all platforms other than Rockstar. So That's another reason. But I felt like this remaster just needed a lot more to be cooked in the oven. I guess you could say that's a better word. That's a better word for it.
Is it would
I will say, when it comes to character models, real quick, I feel like they spent more time perfecting Claude than, Carl, because you could tell with Carl's character model, his eyes are somewhat farther apart than in the original.
Yeah.
And I feel like they worked on Claude more because he needed more of a makeover than Tommy or Carl Johnson.
Yeah, I say like the screenshot we're looking here, Tommy looks okay-ish in his
Yeah, I can
comparison.
agree.
The only issue is that the right side, which is the remaster, by the way, Tommy looks a lot younger for a dude. I think didn't he go to prison before the beginning of GTA 3, right? No, I'm sorry, Vice City. Yeah, I think he was in prison for some time. So
15 years.
so yeah, like he looks like he's like a teenager just coming out. It's like I'm ready. I'm ready. Um, but yeah, he doesn't. I wonder. Let me see if you guys can find screenshots of Tommy and Carl, or I'm sorry, Claude and Tommy. God damn it, Claude and Carl. Let me know. There you go. um, as you guys see here, you see like the review scores here. 7 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Like, what's the 8 out of 10? This probably becomes a recommended purchase if you grow up with any. Like, I can put it like this: if you haven't played the GTA original series, then by all means, sure, go ahead and buy the remasters. But if you are a person that's played the original games and looked at this remaster, I would just say skip it and wait for sale. I
Yeah.
mean, um, Rockstar, yeah, like people are literally destroying. Like, there's lots of memes of the games here. Like, the character models here look really cartoonish. Like, they don't look intimidating, I guess, as a gang. I mean, it's just insane that, like, especially this one here, you got the original, even the originals look better than the definitive versions.
Saying, I heard the reason why they took the Rockstar launcher offline for the definitive editions was because their source code was still in the game files, and also the music that we talked about that were locked away.
Hmm. Also saw something about they had dev notes or something like that as well. At least that's
Yes.
what I think I saw. And I don't know what those dev notes were stating, but like I know that in one of the games here, I think it's San Andreas, the music is basically still in the game. I think you just have to flip. No, no, no. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Like, I don't know. To me, it feels like the music is somewhat iconic. I wish Rockstar, as big as a corporation Rockstars, I feel like they could have definitely got the licensing for the music back. I mean, it's not like a big loss, but even still, like without certain songs in the game, it doesn't feel like as iconic. Especially video killed the radio star. Like, how are you not gonna put that song in there? It's like the most
It's
important song.
it's sad they had to remove a lot of the songs, but we already kind of talked about the reason why, because those are kind of old songs.
Well, it's that they could go out and look and try to get the licensing to them, but it's called you got to spend money. You have to probably be
Well,
like,
yeah, that too.
it's like you got to probably spend like $1 million just to get like one song in there, and they didn't want to do that.
But
But
they're a billion-dollar company, though.
more than
Yeah, but
shit.
you forget they like to take the lazy route.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Rockstar, and I heard like the performance on the Switch versions are terrible as well. Because I was thinking about picking up the Switch versions because I don't want to get the games on the Rockstar on the Rockstar Social Club. Because Rockstar, even though their games are great, they're like not that kind of like importance to like get on their own platform. I guess especially just for like one game. That's how I feel. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Wasn't the whole thing also online DRM?
Uh, yes, because the games went off on because the games got unlisted or whatever from the maintenance or whatnot. They had if you were playing the game or whatnot, it went down for maintenance, and so you couldn't play that you couldn't play them, so you couldn't play games that you bought. I saw a tweet actually last night, which proved a good point. I'm actually gonna hide my screen real quick, my capture real quick, and I'm going to I'm gonna get those tweets real quick, and we're going to. I'll show you guys. Let's see
See,
here.
that's a yikes for me with this game, Chief.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Would this be the biggest blunder of a launch title?
I mean, no, I mean that was Cyberpunk apparently, but everyone's always making fun of everyone's making fun of Cyberpunk now. Say like so, whenever your game comes out crappy, it's like, well, could this top Cyberpunk? It's like,
I will say, I can say yes and no to that because technically it probably will be bad at first, but if Rockstar will take the time to actually fix it up, they could possibly almost make it as good as Cyberpunk is nowadays. At least if I remember correctly, if Cyberpunk has gotten better, because it
okay,
has definitely gotten better from what I've seen.
yeah, it has. I found the tweet here. So the tweet right here states, "Boy, I sure love paying $60 for games using a launcher I don't want to use, downloading them onto my PC, needing an internet connection to play them, and then getting them completely taken away from me, especially ones that are decades old and strictly single player. Awful plus ratio." And that right there, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and this is what I'm saying. I hate when people defend companies. Like there's some people like they're saying, well, Rockstar, they're a small indie company. They can't. No, shut up. Quit
I
defending these companies.
I actually heard someone say, at least Rockstar remastered these games. I kind of wish they didn't.
Quit defending these companies. It's like, what are they paying you to defend them for? Are they paying your bills right now?
Oh, they
This
gave
is
them shark cards.
yeah, like is that what they gave y'all, shark cards for your virtual GTA game? GTA Online? Like God. But you know what though? There is one good thing out of this though. Is that I want and hope that modders can continue to mod the original games to their heart's content in secret and then release them. Because once you release them on the internet, they're out there. There ain't nothing Rockstar can do. Rockstar can try to sue the original modders, they could, or whoever's modding the games. They could try to, but what's the point when the game file's already out there? But yeah, Rockstar knew what they were doing. They definitely knew what they were doing. It's kind of tragic that they're trying to force our hand as consumers, and I hope that people wise up and really think about it's like I'm personally fine with remasters and stuff if companies will do them right and do them justice. And as you see so far, GTA Remaster's not done well justice,
No, it really isn't.
All right, and so we're back with our next topic here, guys. And so with this next topic here, we're going to be talking about or doing a recap on Mario Party Superstars. So now that it's been out, me and the boys has played it or played a couple of boards on it, and I feel like this was definitely a better version of Mario Party, a Mario Party game that we always wanted. Tips, we're going to start with you. What are your thoughts on?
It's pretty much combining all of the greatest mini games, if not all of them, from past games, which is pretty cool because I do like seeing like some of these old mini games, like this Chomp mini game, or like the what's it called, the Fire Rope game.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing some of the boards from the first 3 games, even though I've never played first one, but besides that, the boards are pretty good. They're faithful to the original. The music is astonishingly really good for a remaster.
Mhm.
What else is there to talk about? I forgot what else I was gonna say.
That's fine. I feel like for me, like I enjoy the game. Like I played Mario Party up to Mario Party 1, 2, 3. I played the fourth one. Then after that, I kind of like not been to the series as often. Now my little nephews, they played Mario Party like 8, 9, 10, stuff like that because I think those are on the Switch. No, not Switch. I'm sorry, on the Nintendo Wii. So they played
Yeah.
those games. For me, like I said, I really enjoy this Mario Party. My only gripe or issue is that when it comes to the mini games, like there's about 100 mini games, but it feels like, especially when you're playing 4 players, it feels like you're kind of it's the game's picking the same like mini games. I don't. It feels. I don't know if you guys get that, or you got that
Yeah.
tips about. But it feels like to me like it keeps cycling. It's like, man, I played this mini game already. It's like, how many times am I gonna play? When are we gonna get the newer one, the different ones yet? You know?
That's
Um,
not a sad thing. Because I will also say this: I am sad that like they don't go with the approach where when you usually did it, it would the mini games were like all question marks until like you got it.
mhm.
Which I would have loved if they did that way, so that way like, oh, we know that like this is a mini game that you do or don't have.
Yeah. Unless you have to play them first somewhere else to still like kind of like low key unlock them, but I don't think that's the case.
No,
Uh,
you just start with them because I even went to the Mount mini game as soon as I got my copy, and all like
ni-
100 mini games or plus were there.
nice.
Mhm.
The boards are pretty good. You know, I like each and every board. They're pretty unique. I kind of wish that there is a bit more boards, and I hope that. I mean, I heard that there's rumored that they're coming out with DLC, correct, or adding in
Yeah,
extra boards and stuff. So,
which definitely they need.
oh yeah, Dre, from a viewer standpoint, have have you been enjoying Mario Party, or what are your thoughts on?
I actually have, and I'll hold my hands up and say I may have gotten rid of my Switch too early, and I I may have to pick up another Switch and pick up this game.
I told you, man, to keep the Switch, bro.
I don't understand why you'd get rid of it. I swear, like even though like we've kind of talked about Nintendo and like how like sometimes they, can be lazy with their games sometimes. It can still be great to have some of these
Well,
games.
I think with Dre, for what his standpoint is, that he likes Nintendo, but he doesn't like them a lot of their franchises or whatnot. Um,
Understandable.
and so, I mean, in my honest opinion, I feel like if Dre were to kind of like be like, okay, you know what? Even though I don't like a lot of their franchises, I could potentially try out a couple of their franchises. Like, I mean, I know Dre says he doesn't like Legend of Zelda. I didn't know it. I didn't like Legend of Zelda either until I figured out what Legend of Zelda was, and I played it. You know, I played the series about a couple years back, and I love Zelda now. I mean, some of the things in Zelda was hard, but once you play it or play those games, you know, they're really not bad. You just have to play them for same thing with Metroid Dread. You know,
Yeah.
that game was recently I never played a Metroid game other than the other M. That was on the Nintendo Wii, and not a lot of people apparently that's not like the worst one to people. And
It's kind of bad depending on people's standpoints.
yeah,
I can see it, but I don't know. I haven't played Metroid myself.
yeah. But I definitely enjoyed it though. So I feel like Dre, if you were to pick up a Nintendo Wii, you know, you can always pick up a OLED because that's the newest one. I think it
Hmm.
goes for about 300, 350. That's like the biggest screen. Or you can still go for the original if that's what you want to do. Uh but yeah, like Mario Party, it just feels great. Like I feel like Nintendo, they actually literally listen to their viewers and then or to their gamers, their community for the first time ever, and actually created a product that's not Super Mario Party. Because with Super Mario Party, the game was so bad that my nephews they don't play it, but they keep begging me to pick them up Mario Party or to play Mario Party with them and stuff. So you know that if that's the case, then that means that they done something right. And also, P.S. Tips sluts Mario Party. Just saying.
Oof.
Yeah, I do swear in Mario Party,
See, see,
but then again,
that's
I
why
swear in every game.
that's why I should get it so I can outsweat him.
um.
You want to do that, Dre?
Ooh.
Yeah, sweat off.
All right. But I will say this about the game because I was told this by my cousin. This is literally like the ultimate Mario Party. Pretty much
It really is.
like this is like the Smash Brothers Ultimate version of Mario Party.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that. But I say they need if they were to add more boards and stuff. I think it's or more boards and more mini games. I think it's that they have to adapt them from because a lot of these games are from. I mean, some of the games they could adapt easily. Some others they can't because of I guess the Wii motion sensor. Because you know, like I said, a lot of these Mario Party games were made on the Wii. So they would have to adapt the motion controls or even change the games all around. That's if they still have the coding, because you know a lot of these game companies apparently they lose their source code for their game, so it's kind of weird, I guess. Uh, but yeah,
Okay.
like the characters though, you know they have a good amount of characters. You know they have the basic characters, though Mario, Luigi, Peach. Of course, you see Rosalina, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, uh, Waluigi. I think I said War. I'm not sure if I said Wario.
You
They
did
have
not, but he is in here.
They have Birdie, and I think that's it.
Birdo.
Birdo. I'm sorry, Birdo. I'm sorry. And I might be missing somebody, but if I am, I do apologize. A lot of people were kind of upset that there weren't Dry Bones or Shy Guy, you know. And I'm like, well, I mean, they don't have to be the game, but if they were, I guess that'd be kind of cool too,
Yeah.
you know.
Diddy Kong as well.
Diddy Kong, yeah, I was kind of disappointed Diddy Kong was in there.
Like,
Oh yeah,
I
Donkey
mean,
Kong. I forgot. There you go, Donkey Kong. There you go.
I thought you said Donkey Kong already, but I mean, at least he's playable in this game, unlike some of the other Mario Party games where he just has his own space.
Because then I know in Mario Party 2 that was more Halloween-ish based, which was kind of cool with the whole costume stuff.
That's actually something I kind of wish they would have done with the Mario Party 2 boards, but give them costumes because that's actually really cool. Get like
Yeah,
gameplay of the original.
yeah, that definitely made it really unique. But yeah, I would say Mario Party Superstars. I get a 9 out of 10. Honestly, what do y'all think? That's for me though.
I could go with 9 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, I could go with a 9.
Hopefully, we can get more Mario Party games in the future. But I think this might be the last Mario Party game on the Switch because I think Nintendo's already working on the next platform or the next console, and I hope that it's reminiscent to the Switch and not like another traditional console. Because I swear to God, if I bought all these carts, all these games, and I can't play them on the next Switch, I'm gonna be very pissed off. But you know, this is Nintendo we're talking about here, so they take at least 30 years to adapt, I guess.
I mean, let's also not forget that with Mario Party and like the amount of people we have in the community, when they get the game, we can do the whole drinking stuff.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. And all right, everybody, we're back with the next segment here of the Bear Den Talks. We're going to be talking about Jumpforce being delisted from digital stores. So they say that Jumpforce is being delisted from digital stores, but I'm not for sure about how physical is going to go. First and foremost, any game being delisted is a tragedy because you won't have access to play these games anymore. Depending on it might be 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5, 5, 10, even 10 years. So the thing with Jumpforce is that Jumpforce is a arena-based anime fighting game, which is very what's that word I'm looking for? It's that very fan servicey. Okay.
Yeah.
The issue is though is that a lot of these anime fighters or anime characters are heavily licensed. So there's a reason why the Jump Force series is getting delisted. As you guys see here on you have the sales end date. They're going to quit selling the game in about 3 months from now on the February 28th, somewhere around there, or I'm sorry, 22nd, somewhere around there. They're gonna, I guess the game's having like a sale, as in like price reduction or something like that on DLC, and also they made a deluxe edition. So what they're meaning is that the online service. So let's see, we have the online end date. The online end date for the game is not going to end until August of next year. The content that will be no longer available, but in the means of like logging in to multiplayer lobby, online events, clan functions, viewing it, the notice board, viewing the leaderboards, accepting rewards and reward centers, in-game store, premium shop, all those will be done for in even online ranked match. Now, what I don't get, which is what they said, which content will be available after the end of the online service. Offline content, online battles, except rank match. So I'm kind of confused on that. I guess just like regular old battles. I don't know. And then DLCs. You won't be able to purchase the DLCs. So what do you guys think about games being delisted? What are you guys' opinions on?
Pause the thing real quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are you guys' thoughts on just digital games being delisted in general?
I'll let you go first, Dre.
I feel like, was it even worth it then to buy it if now they're just gonna say no more?
That is true. Like, if I were to buy, which I'm considering buying it, because again, as y'all know me, I'm a physical game collector. I collect games physically, and I love collecting them physical. Um, it's just insane to me that licensing is always an issue when it comes to games. Like the last game that got delisted that was gone for like almost 10 years, which was Scott Pilgrim, and that finally made a comeback. That finally came out again, but I went ahead and bought it again physical because the fact that I don't want it to go away. But it comes into nowadays is that we're going to a very digital world, which is what people aren't understanding is that when a game that comes out digitally, you know, they're trying to erase physical media so that you, as a person, a collector, whoever you are, you don't virtually own those games anymore. You know, and it's pretty bad that a lot of these companies end up, or a lot of these people, really consumers or people, they're starting to accept this. I have friends that say, "Well, I buy digital only games because it's convenient and I don't have to go anywhere." I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, but you don't really own it because let's say someone hacks your account and gets your account banned, and these companies like they don't care. They because they already got your money. At the press of a button, they just shut down your account. And a lot of people don't really think about that. So when it comes to Jumpforce, if you know once this game comes out, it's gone. I mean, I believe if you still have it on your account, you'll be fine. But you won't be able to, if your friend, let's say you want to face your friend, or maybe if they have a local co-op option to fin the game, well, your friend can't buy it anymore because this has been delisted. You know, and I don't like the future where we're heading right now.
I was gonna say, I want you to kind of like, if you ever have a conversation like that, where like you tell them about like digital stuff and them losing it, I want them to try and explain how they would feel if that happened and all the money they wasted because of that.
I think I had a similar conversation with someone about this a long time ago. They're like, "Well, who says in 5 to 10 years from now I'm going to think about playing this game 5 to 10 years from now?" I'm like, you're right to an extent because when I was growing up, guess what games I still play today? I still play games like Kingdom Hearts that came out 5 to 10 years ago, but again, Kingdom Hearts has been re-released several times. So I wouldn't really, I guess you could say, count that. You have PS3 games like Eternal Sonata that hasn't been ported over anywhere. So you have you get that nostalgic feeling to be like, man, I wish I had that game console or that game. You know,
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Kingdom Hearts, and you saying its age turns 20 like in a year or two.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I wonder what so hopefully they'll do something special for that. Which
Definitely.
Square Enix, no, Square Enix though, maybe it all depends.
That could probably be a topic for another day.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just people don't realize that they say all this that well they're not gonna play 5 to 10 years now, but they're gonna be like, well, I wish I would have had this game. I wish I did this, and I mean that's on you. Like, I want to own my media. If my account gets banned from Nintendo, not saying that it will, but if hey, I can still play on my console. They can't block me from playing on my console because it's something that I bought and I own it. Now, when you buy a digital game, you buy it. You can buy it to play it. You don't buy it to keep it. Okay, you buy a little digital license file that says, "Hey, you can play this game, but you don't own it. But eventually, if something happens, what will happen? It's gone from you. Like if when it comes for me at least, if I can't buy the game physically and I have to buy it digitally, then I guess I'm like, well, fuck, you might as well. It forces my hand.
Yeah.
Dre, you have any thoughts
And
on? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and speaking of consoles, like, see, I still have my Game Boy Advance.
Oh man.
It's like,
Yeah.
and I still play it from time to
Does it still?
time.
I
Like,
was gonna say, does it turn on? We
yes,
need to
it
hear the
does.
sound. Oh my gosh. Whew. Well, they coming out of the woodworks now. Makes me looks like I have to get a Game Boy. Here goes my Game Boy Advance.
And look at the game I'm currently playing.
Is that Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yes,
Hey, let's
yes,
go.
it is.
Yo, let's go.
I still have a 3D. I still have a 3DS. Granted, I don't play my 3DS like I used to anymore. but I gave
Same.
it. I gave it to my nephews because one of my nephews likes to play the 3DS and stuff. So even though it's mine, I paid $100 for it. I let him play it. See, but
Yeah.
yeah, and so when it comes to Jump Force, again, it's insane to me that this is literally it's happening. I mean, I didn't want to pick up the game because of the fact that um it wasn't my type of game. You know, yes, it is an arena fighter. Arena fighters usually aren't my type, but for the seeing certain anime characters within that game do what they want to do, like Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta versus Naruto, Gon. That shit is insane to me. But to
And,
see that go away because of licensing, it's fucking tragic.
and just to make sure if like I don't get this mistaken, arena fighters and 3D fighters are completely different, correct?
Yes. Well,
All right.
when it comes to certain fighting games, right? People don't because like games like Jump Force, people consider it as a arena fighter, basically like a party game, because
Gotcha.
it's not supposed to be competitive. Basically, you
Because
don't really take it serious.
because
Now,
I did not want to like make the mistake of possibly being like, oh, you can probably say that like it could be like an arena fighter could be like Tekken. It's like no, that's like no,
that's a
that's a
3D. Yeah,
3D fighter.
that's a 3D fighter. Yes. Um. Now, when it comes to just people don't the arena fighters, people don't really take seriously because they just consider it as party games and stuff.
Yeah.
Um. Now, games like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, that's a fighting game that people take serious that they know they can take competitively, which is weird. I mean, sure, you could take an arena fighter competitively, but most arena fighters, what people usually do, they don't really fight. They just run around in circles until they'll do maybe 1 or 2 hits of damage to you, and they'll run around in circles, try to dodge all your attacks, and do that, do
Yeah.
whatever. But if you're just sitting there playing with friends and stuff, sure, you know what, Jump Force, that's your game. Sit there and play with your friends. But in ranked wise, no, I'm not gonna. I'm me
No.
personally, I'm not gonna take it serious.
Yeah, I
Um,
wouldn't take this game seriously either.
but
But
any
I
fight,
will. I do say I do like the idea of like many different anime characters being in one game
yeah,
because yes, it's an interesting concept and it's great to see like certain characters in this game. Like for example, one that I remember anime I remember watching back in the early 2000s on Toonami, and he's in the game as Bobobo.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was good one.
Uh, now I heard that there's a 3DS game, kind of what's it called, Jump Stars or something like that.
I don't
Yeah,
remember. I think.
I
Let
think
me
it's called yeah, I
see.
think it's called Jump Stars, something of the sort. And I think that's a pretty.
Jumpstart, as I say, Jumpstars, I think is a completely different game.
I, Potentially, I think if I remember, I don't remember too much about it. I think it's like it feels like it felt like Smash Bros or something. I don't know. But do you guys have any final thoughts on Jump Force being delisted?
It's a tragedy,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and maybe if companies, would have leniency with licensing, you know, this
yeah.
this could have been something.
Definitely.
Because the game feels like the game's only been out for less than for what, maybe a year, 2 years, right?
Jump Force?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It was out for like less than it feels like it's been out for almost
Jump
less than a
Force
year.
has been out since 2018.
So yeah. So it's been a good what, 3 years?
At
No,
least,
four
yeah,
years. 4
4?
years. Yeah,
Yeah, it came out October 12th of 2018.
26. Yeah,
So
so about
3
4 years.
years
Yeah,
now.
3 years, almost a little over 3 years. Yeah, and so yeah, it's just companies they gotta do better, and this is why I don't buy digital, y'all. I'm old to my shit. You
I'd
see right
rather like to hold my stuff too.
you see right here, I'm holding my games. Got my games. By the way, it's gonna get played sooner or later.
Which game
Keep
was
that.
that?
Freaking Tokyo Moss Sessions.
Oh,
That's gonna get played sooner or later. Keep that in
I need to
mind.
get back into that.
All right, guys, we're back here with the final topic of the evening. Here, we're gonna be talking about YouTube removing dislikes. Okay, so apparently, YouTube as a corporation, they decided that they're going to be removing dislikes because if they feel like there have been targeted harassments against smaller creators and smaller people. So a lot of people really believe that's completely a lie, but they feel like though that it's because of like companies like Nintendo and also people that are against like the whole COVID stuff or whatnot, or the Rittenhouse trials, stuff like that. So, and what I mean by that is like example with the Nintendo Online Pass, right? A lot of people disliked it. I mean, tremendously, a lot. You can look at the video yourself. Okay. Um, and people feel like Nintendo reached out to YouTube was like, yo, like this is hurting our business, okay, and our business model. You guys got to do something about that because it feels like this was really quick. But I think, but at the same time, though, I heard that they were testing this out months ago, or what? Like, I mean, like, yeah, about let's say like 5 or 6 months ago. I feel like I heard something about this, but it might have just been a rumor. And this rumor, as you see, might come true. So, Dre or Tips, what thoughts do y'all have on this? Give me your thoughts.
I mean, I'm surprised that they want to try and remove it at least, because usually the dislike does tell some people like if like like if you're doing a good job or a bad job. But even like I will say this, even if someone dislikes that video, is you still got a view out of it, so
That
that's at
is
least
true.
some kind of positive.
That is very true. I also kind of feel like, I mean, yes, dislikes did help people, like help you with determining if the video is going to be bad or not. And I mean, there is a kind of like mod, I want to say like mob mentality when it comes to disliking things on YouTube. On YouTube,
Oh yeah.
because let's if someone doesn't like something, they'll be like, okay, everybody go ahead and dislike that video or do this, that, and the other, right?
I mean,
And
could you to say could you possibly say that one reason they could possibly remove it is because of like certain YouTubers getting a lot of dislikes, like for example, from what I've seen, like Nikado.
yeah, even then, like the thing with dislikes, that even though people dislike it, it's still giving you engagement. So if you guys don't know, engagement means like it basically boosts your video up, in the algorithm, in the YouTube algorithm. And so with that, you getting boosted engagement there, um, I mean it helps you out in the long run. But at the same time, though, like I feel like as a community person or as you of a leader of a community, you should be already telling your viewers like, hey guys, um if you guys enjoy my video, please either like it or comment down below, tell me if you disliked it. That's what should be happening. But you know people aren't doing that though. you know Dre, what are your thoughts on that?
Are we sure they're not doing this because YouTube Rewind's coming soon?
Actually, no.
Oh
Fun
my
fun
god.
fact, they're actually not doing rewind anymore.
Are
They
they
got
not?
they really said like, we're not doing we're not doing rewind anymore because on how bad the bad reception and stuff that's been going on with it.
No, but I feel like the like button and dislike could be revamped, you know. Instead of typing in the comments like why your video was bad, why not when they click on the like or dislike, it has like a certain number of boxes
Hmm.
or other and explain why, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like that would help YouTubers engage more, and then you can see who's just trolling and who's not, you know?
yeah. Because what I usually do is I always try to tell people, especially in all my videos. If for you guys that don't know this, I always tell people at the end of my videos like, hey, I want you guys to criticize my videos. Let me know how I did well. Like, favorite, and subscribe. I know it's like it's cringe for people to say like, favorite, and subscribe, but I also tell people, hey, like criticize my videos. Let me know what you guys think I could do better on, and that's because that's what I want. Because I want that feedback, and that's what a lot of content creators should be doing. Is they said they should be getting feedback on their work, and if you're already asking your community or your people about how your content is, then in reality it won't really matter to you, I guess. You know, uh, so it's like people are making. Oh, hold on. There we go. People are making a big. I feel like they're making a little bit too much of a big deal out of it. Let me go ahead and get you guys back here real quick. Or aren't you guys?
All right.
But yeah, it's like it feels like you should already just be asking your community about the issues. If your people are liking your disliking your stuff and whatnot, and get feedback on reasons why they dislike your video. What could you been doing better on? But I will say this: the dislike function was really helpful to let you know if videos were really bad. in a way.
Mhm.
I don't know. What do y'all think?
I feel like it does, but it doesn't exactly tell you why because
But
no one like leaves any constructive criticism, They
yeah,
just dislike and that's it.
that is very
Which
that
is
is
why I thought they should add like a box whenever you dislike. That way you could see the constructive criticism that people have with your video, you know?
what about you, Tips?
Honestly, Dre pretty much already answered that question, or rather answered what I was gonna say.
Okay, so I feel like as a whole, like there, I would say this when it comes to like the platform wars. A lot of platforms have a lot. There's a lot. Each platform has their issues. It's up to the community to fight back on how to fix those issues. If people don't like the whole dislike function, then what do? You use you tell people, hey, don't support YouTube like that, or push back and say, don't subscribe to their YouTube's functions or features, and then companies will definitely go for change. Compared to like I'm gonna say it, compared to companies like Twitch, where people will complain every single day about something about Twitch, but then at the end of the day, they do what? They still consider streaming on Twitch. And so I feel like if everything I've been seeing, on certain Reddits and stuff that people have been fighting back against, the YouTube subscriptions or I'm sorry, the dislike function by unsubscribing for their premium service and stuff. And I think that makes sense, that they should do that, uh, in order to send the message, versus where people, they think a day off Twitch is going to really ever do anything. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Which
hey,
it didn't.
that's just me. Um,
The
Go ahead.
the only thing I feel like is the only way YouTube can change is if someone influential talks to someone higher up at YouTube, you know,
Mhm.
if they're already in with Susan,
Yeah.
as we've seen previously, like who was it? They had like a meeting with Susan to discuss changes to YouTube. I'm like, so does that mean you only listen to, the high end YouTubers who have ideas?
Yeah. Well, I think because for the majority of things, I think it's okay that they do listen to high ranking YouTubers because especially like okay, let's go to like the live streaming portion of YouTube. Um, they tell people to listen to they listen to people like Valkyrie and Courage and stuff like that because these guys have you know more of a platform. They kind of get like more of an idea um about how the platform should change. It's a lot of these people. So like people like Valkyrie, she's been telling YouTube, hey, gifted subs, which is coming soon. They're coming with a stream rating, by the way, in the future. Um, and various other features and ways to monetize your stream and stuff, which is really cool. Really cool that because again they have that experience. Now, I would also say that they need to start listening to the little people, the small people, people like me and you, because they listen to listen to our like you don't have to like sit there and take our complaints, but you can legitly at least be like
Hear them out.
exactly. And that's what I have to say on that. I feel like that people are taking things out of proportion, maybe. But if it's much of an issue, they should just again fight back and get things going. Anybody have any final words on the YouTube dislike? No final words.
No.
Well,
All right. So this will be concluding the end of the Bear Den Talks podcast of this episode. Appreciate you guys coming on through and watching the video here. If y'all don't know who I am, well, first off, thank you to Mr. Dre 911 for joining us on this special episode. Much appreciated, Dre. Thank you for coming on through.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
For you guys that know who I am, my name is Disparity. I'm a variety content creator here on the platforms we call YouTube. I play a lot of different games, a lot of strategy games, a lot of RPG games, but just variety content in general. You guys can catch a live stream every Thursday through Saturday from 7 p.m. to about 11 p.m. Uh, and that's all I have to say about myself. Tips, go ahead.
My name works for Tips. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I play a multitude of different games. be it like RPGs, battle royale, shooters, stuff like that. I also have a Twitter in case you want to follow me. Make sure you are at least of 18 of age, so that way, you're not looking at anything. You know, I don't want you to get in trouble. Okay.
Jerry, what about yourself? Do you have anything to say?
No, not really. You can catch me on Dre911 at
On Twitter?
Twitter,
There you go.
and that's about it. That's all I got. I don't do anything else.
But again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support and all that you guys do. You have a great night. Peace out, everybody. Much love, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also hit the bell notification down below. Thanks for watching.